Well, obviously, people are getting worked up for next generation at kind of a fevered pitch right now. A lot of things are coming out. Obviously, there's a lot of games as well that are getting announced. Like we saw the Suicide Squad game, that looked pretty good. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I thought that Gotham Knights looked pretty good. I just hope that these games don't really go into a games as a service sort of direction, because it does seem like more and more are kind of going that way. And while I don't necessarily have a problem with games as a service, I just don't want it to overtake everything, because I kind of like sometimes just have a game to have a beginning, middle, and end right at release and not have to worry about it anymore or go back anymore, because all these different games are vying for time, and there's realistically only so much time that you can spend. But regardless of that, Sony came out and made a big update and an announcement about the PlayStation 5 that should set some people's nerves at ease, if you will. So this was a pretty big thing, and I thought, hey, why not go ahead and cover it? What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. A lot of people wonder how you can help out a small YouTuber like me. Well, a simple like goes a long way. You can also hit the bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it drops. Thank you guys so much for the support. It really does mean the world to me. So with that being said, we keep seeing all kinds of interesting things in regards to the PlayStation 5. There's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of leaks, there's a lot of people talking about it. Like I said, games are the things that people are most getting excited about right now. Okay, like we just saw some of the WB Warner Brothers games. They look pretty interesting. The more interesting part to me, real quick while I go off subject, is the fact that Rocksteady released Batman Arkham Knight in 2014, and their next game isn't ready till 2022. Now, I'm not sure if it's true they had a game canceled in between then or something along those lines, but it is a little bit weird that, you're basically going 8 years between their games when they were able to come out with the Arkham games pretty quickly. Now, I understand that this is a next-gen only title or whatever, but I just still thought that was kind of a little bit interesting fact. Same thing with, Gotham Knights, right? I thought that was interesting. It doesn't take place in the Arkham universe at all, which I thought was kind of weird, but, still interesting, and kind of an interesting take on it with Batman not being around and playing as other people and having a focus on co-op. I think a lot of these games are really kind of focusing on the co-op stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that there will be, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if, there's quite a bit of like microtransactions and things like that for some of these games where you can get skins and outfits and things like that. That seems like what's going to be kind of the future and stuff like that. So with that being said, some games get delayed, some games don't get delayed. I really do feel like Sony and Microsoft picked a really rough time to sort of go all in on next generation. And again, the thing that is kind of concerning, I think, a little bit, is that we're so close to the launch of these things. We have no price point, we have no release dates per se, we literally have very little to go on, and that is a little bit concerning in my opinion. And also we don't have the lineups for the launches yet, or realistically any kind of idea of what's coming within the first year. Now on the Xbox side, unfortunately, Halo looks like that got delayed. Rumors even that it got delayed till 2022, and they're going to drop Xbox One support and things like that. That would be good for Halo, I think bad for Xbox owners, because let's face it, they don't have anything. They have next to nothing ready to go, and it's just one of those things where people are sort of having to sort of put up with one thing or the other. And I really do feel bad, because at the end of the day, Sony seem like, even though they're still releasing bangers right now, they still seem like they have more. And I understand the circumstances going on in the world right now. I do. Trust me. I totally get it. I sympathize with it. But I think a lot of the issues that are going on with Microsoft right now are things that aren't exactly even related to that. So for me personally, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. And I just really feel like it's just one of those things we're going to have to kind of wait and see, like with anything. Now, I do think that Sony has a lot of advantages, particularly in their launch lineup, but they came out and announced, obviously, when they did that PlayStation 5 commercial during the week, that's already picked up millions of views. Like I said, we have no price point, no release date. There's still a big question mark on when it's going to come out. The platform holder actually has stated on multiple occasions that it remains on schedule for holiday 2020 launch, but they are some who obviously have doubts. But speaking exclusively last week, marketing bigwig Eric Lampel provided a brief update. He says, "We're pulling it together. We will launch this year. That will happen, and from my end, we will absolutely make sure that we will bring all the magic and all the excitement of launches that we have had in the past. So he also said that, and I already covered this in a previous video, that the PS5's launch window will be the best lineup in PlayStation history, which, obviously, what else would they say, okay? Like, I make fun of Phil Spencer a little bit because he says that all the time. We're going to have the best Xbox lineup in the history of Xbox. It's going to be great. We're going to have this and that, and, the biggest E3 ever. I'm impressed. I can't stress how big and how great this event's going to be. Like, literally, and there's this meme going around because it's easy to find. You can Google them. Literally, every year, Phil Spencer says something along those lines. Even the funnier part was, after PlayStation 5 got revealed, right, Phil Spencer's like, yeah, I feel good about our lineup. It's the best lineup, and, I feel good about our place. And then, like, when we saw what they had, you saw that they didn't have anything, and, Halo looked like garbage, and the rest of that stuff is, like, 2023, 2024. Like, who knows when that stuff's going to come. So, yeah, realistically, it's a bad spot for Microsoft to be in, being most likely having a very expensive console with very little to really showcase it. And even Microsoft has kind of pivoted themselves to point out, hey, buy an Xbox Series X so you can play your old games. Like, to me, that doesn't really make sense. But at the end of the day, I think people are going to kind of gravitate towards what they like. I mean, let's just be real. A lot of people think that I try to talk people out of Xbox. That's not the case. I just try to keep people a little bit informed about what's going on. For me personally, an Xbox Series X would have made sense with Halo or with some kind of exclusives that showcase it, but the Halo looks so bad, and now the rumors that might not come out till 2022. So you would literally go, which, by the way, I got to reiterate this point, the entire of 2020, Microsoft has released 0 AAA exclusives. So you're looking at going all through 2021 with 0 AAA exclusives into 2022, when hopefully Halo would finally release. How is that a good pitch for your box? I'm just curious, like, how is that going to keep anybody subscribed to Game Pass? How is that going to keep anybody interested in Xbox long term? I just would love to know that personally, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, I get, like, some of the fanboys and stuff like that just, like, live and die Xbox, but what's the point for the average person to really go out there and buy an Xbox Series X at launch? Like, I don't think there is one, and that person would then go out and tell me, well, what's the reason to buy a PS5? And I would just simply say Spider-Man. I mean, we know that they've confirmed Horizon Forbidden West coming out 2021. They've confirmed these things. Gran Turismo 7. There's even rumors that might make launch. Same thing with Demon's Souls. We don't know 100%, but we do know that Sony actually has everything that they showed at their reveal is either launch or within the launch window. And I understand the current circumstances can definitely hamper sort of the launch window when that is. But I still have belief and faith. These games probably have been in the work for quite a while, and I trust Sony's leadership a lot more than Microsoft's in terms of, hey, can we get these games ready? Can we get these things done on time? And I just feel like that's something that they're doing that's very smart. And when you look at Microsoft and you see a company that will likely release or announce 5 different consoles over the last 4 years, which, if you think about it, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox SAD, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, which is the Lockhart. That would be 5 consoles since 2016, and yet you have 0 AAAs to launch with your console and 0 in the first year. That's bad planning, in my opinion. Like, people keep talking about how Microsoft has all this money and they're backing the Xbox platform better than ever, and I look around at the games and I say, where? And you might go, well, games take time. I get that, but if Insomniac Games can release Spider-Man in 2018 and in 2020, 2021 have a launch game with another Spider-Man that people can call DLC all they want, but 15 to 20 hours is perfect, in my opinion. And then they also have Ratchet and Clank, which will likely be an early 2021 game, or maybe even launch game. So how come they could get that done, but none of Microsoft Studios can have anything done? Like, the last Forza Motorsport game was 2017, released the same time as GT Sport, but yet there's no new Forza Motorsport ready or even close. It's in early production, and GT Sport looks like it's going to either be a launch game or a spring 2021 game. Again, there's a huge difference in how these teams are operating now, and I don't understand how Microsoft could have totally dropped the ball on everything the way that they have. But again, I will link this in the description below. You guys can check it out. Does it make you happy to know that the PlayStation 5 is still on track and that their games are still on track? For me, it puts me a little bit at ease, but I would feel much better if we actually got a launch date. We are going into September now, folks, and we have no price point, no release date, and no finalized launch lineup or launch window lineup. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.